Hello, welcome to the Retro Robin Show. We're going to have a shorter show than normal today, and we're not going for all the different Crash reviews. We're just having a mixed bag of games which I've selected from my own personal collection that I'd like to talk about and play and give a bit of a review and rating. As always, today's show, in the usual bag, will be run on real hardware. Just two computers in use today. We'll be using the Engo clone here, which is doing the writing and the display on the screen, as you can see. Emo will be dancing to the AY music and be generally annoying on the screen. He's a bit eye candy, really, isn't he? The AI robot is more intelligent than me. And, of course, we've got the Spectrum Plus 3 in action for the sound. So that being said, if you like today's show, please give me a like, subscribe and share, and the more subscribers I have, the better. Some news on the Retro Robin Show, of course, because my view figures are not the greatest at the moment, and I don't know why that is. I've gone from one extreme to the next, but I am trying to put good shows together. The Retro Robins is going to scale back on the amount of production of shows that I produce. I like to produce one a week, don't get me wrong, but obviously people are still catching up with previous shows, so therefore I'm probably going to do it more fortnightly or maybe one every 3 weeks, and that'll give me time to do other projects which I'm working on over in the soldering section there, of course, as well as get finally done that Pick of the Bleepers, and that's what they call AY music programs that I've been promising for so long, which I'm going to work on. So as I say, we've got a shorter show today, and already I'm about to hit the first review. I'm waiting for Emo to start dancing like he normally does, but not on this occasion. Behind me you can always see it in reverse mirror mode. Of course I can't switch the camera on this side round, unfortunately. That's just the way it is, not until I get some software to do that. I'm going to have to invest in some camera equipment, but not at the moment. There's a lot going on in my life, unfortunately, so it is what it is. Let's have a look at today's first new game, which has only just really recently come out. Right, this game's got AY music at the start of it, and the game itself is pretty nice. It's only just come out, and oh, by the way, the Adventures of Morris is in the background, and that's where the AY music's coming from, this particular game. Got a nice start to it. Right, anyway, that's this game we're talking about now on the screen there. Yeah, it's Robin Hood, isn't it, really, Loxley? So, looks like it was taken from the film, but they've made a game on it. And I thought, well, let's give it a go, let's give it a review. So what we're going to do now is we're going to load up this game. And we will wait at the waiting screen, waiting screen. I've still got that croaky voice, just can't seem to get rid of it. It could be a long-term COVID thing, probably. That coupled with I probably need to go and see the dentist, you know. Ooh, teeth, painful. Right, let's have a look at the loading screen and load this game up. It has an intro as well. So if you load it off tape, which you can do because it comes in a TAP file, it will load the first section, give you a bit of a demo, let you choose your controls or whatever. I think actually you choose the controls while you're in the game. We'll come to that anyways. But there are things that you can do in the game which is pretty exciting, which I quite like. Now, the intro is good, and I will load that up for you now. We will see the loading screen briefly, not too briefly I hope. That's not too bad, is it? Really nicely done. Yeah, you get to choose whether you're English or any one of those languages. I'm just going to enlarge the screen. Emo, keep still a minute. There we go. Because that's what we really want to see. I'm just adjusting the camera gently so as we got a nice view. Bit jerky. That's hard for me to have to do it right there and then. And but you get the backstory. So you get to read a little bit first. I'm not going to spoil it too much for you. I'm probably going to skip a bit of this and get on with actually playing the game itself. But presentation wise, you've got to give it a 10 out of 10 just for the presentation. It's nice when they do that, and it's quite loud, isn't it? So you've got nice AY music to start with, and it's got a medieval feel to it as well. So that AY music, which has got a medieval feel to it, is good. Now, I'm a firm believer, if you put AY music in the intro and at the start, you can definitely put AY music in the game. And what that tends to do with a lot of games, for instance, imagine Alvida Saint Monty without the AY music in the background. It's still a great game, but when you've got AY music playing in the background, it adds atmosphere, which makes it a more important game. The demo is fantastic though, isn't it? Yeah? Great sample of sound that was, wasn't it? Well, where was I? Yeah, look, let's say Amaroot, right? You know, the one where you like that four-legged spider sort of killing off the flies, if you like, where you clear the flies, you get rid of all the main flies and you get the queen fly. That's got a creepy AY music in the back. The 48K game is an absolutely great game, but when you've got an AY tune to it, it adds something, it adds atmosphere. And I'm telling you this why, well, it's going to come up soon in a minute. Yeah, it just kind of repeats itself a little bit. So press any key to play, and then you'll load the next section, of course, which will be the main game itself. Right, skills, you get to choose your difficulty level. In this case, I'm going to say easy. And then you can choose your control. You can also have a look at the credits, which we'll do anyways. So it gives you all the information of who did it and who coded it, etc. And we're going to go to controls. So in controls, you've got keyboard, Sinclair, cursor, Kempston, and the most important part, and I'm always impressed when they do this, is you've got redefinable keys. So we're going to go for 5 to redefine my keys. Not only have you got the left, right, up, down, fire, pause and quit, but it gives you a little indication of an arrow for people who don't know their left from right, which is not me, but sometimes, you know, you get people who are, well, dyslexic and that can struggle with that sort of thing, so it does help, and I kind of like that, to be quite fair. New game of 2022. So now what we're going to do, I'll put the AY music on, is start the game. Keep quiet, man. Yep, tells you that what you've done there and what you've selected, etc. And now you're this character here, and by pressing jump, you can pressing fire, you fire. Up is jump, as well as climb up and down. Now we can go across screen, or we can go back a screen. Yeah, and there you go. I can fire arrows and go this way, but I also like the fact that you're going to see the game, but if you go towards your horse, you can then go towards various areas in the game. Now let's turn the music off for a moment. So now all of a sudden it's quiet. It's a great looking game with great graphics, but there is no AY sound. I'm just going to destroy him quickly. He's got a couple of blows in there, so my ears is going to be taking a beating. But if there's no urgency to the game, there's no time limit, there's just stationary right now. It'll stay like that for a long time. So, you know, in a real situation like that where you're in a castle, I'm sure there'd be a few guards on its way. So I would add to the game, myself personally, there would be an urgency to it. If you spend too long on the screen, get a couple of extra guys come after you. Do you know what I mean? So we need to jump this now, go up that ladder, and we're going to go across here and we're going to get into a fight. Now obviously you can fire an arrow, but as soon as you walk onto the level where you've got a guy, you can't get your arrow out and fire at him. It's all about the sword. Now there's a barrier down there, as you can see, and you can't get through it, but what we can do is we can aim down, fire our arrow into that, sort of target there, and that will open that gate. So now all we have to do is flip back through the screen. Obviously it's going to be monotone with slight bits of colour, which we don't mind that, to be honest. It helps if you learn to defend yourself, which I haven't done very well there at all, have I? A couple of times. Now, we're going to go up a couple of levels. And I bet I've taken a few blows too many already, so I'm probably going to run into some trouble in a minute with this gentleman at the top waiting for me. Pity I couldn't change to the bow and arrow, but... Ah, see, he's managed to strike me down. I took too many blows earlier on. So what we'll do now is we'll start the game again. Going to put some music on in the background as well. Okay, so I'm dead. Fair enough. We'll start again. And this time we'll go this way rather than go along the map. I managed to get him first time last time as well, didn't I? So. Now I can't shoot him because I could shoot him there though. Yes. And I presume what's up there? Is there anything up there for me to get up to? No. Okay, so we're just going to drop down here. We can go up a couple of levels. Nice looking layout of the screen, isn't it? Not a lot in the tiles going on this one, not like the castle itself. And yeah, so can't get him, can I? So what are you saying, Emo? Didn't quite catch that. Yeah, so the game itself's playing really well. Now obviously this music doesn't really suit this game. Got to try and avoid him. Need to get rid of him. Now I need to shoot this down, don't I, to get the yeah, you can shoot the arrows down by certain targets. We gotta run and jump onto that. So I presume I've got to go up here now and take a running leap of faith. There we go. Found that pretty neat work. So whoops. So this is the thing. Sometimes you need to jump onto platforms in order to progress. There, maybe I've got to hit each one at an angle. See, there's a little target on the ladder that I need to hit, and so you've got to get up left. You've got to be standing in the right position in order to do that. But if you don't press left and up at the same time, there we go, got it. Right, yeah, you hold fire, and it won't fire till you release fire. So that I didn't realise till just. Oh, I didn't get him, did I? Okay, I got him that time. And I got him too. So is there anything there that I need to get? Do I need to shoot downwards? Probably. No. Okay, so we can follow the arrows through the screen a little bit further. You don't have to, you can just carry on through the screens, but I'm just I keep jumping, don't I? Oh, just in time. I managed to avoid his arrow then, didn't I? Now hopefully he'll give me an idea of where I need to stand to get him. Because if he can hit me, then I can shoot. Well, surely Surely hit him. No. Gotta be careful now, because if he hits me too many times, I'll lose a life. Okay, let's turn that music down because this will have its intro music. What do I think of the game? Well, it's what lets it down is there's no atmosphere in even a medieval type of slow moving AY tune playing in the background, which will not slow the capability of the machine down. I'm sure there is still plenty of with 128k. I know that you had the +3, the 128k, +2 grey, that all had the AY chip in it, and even the simple humble Spectrum now with the AY interface you can get from Byte Delight can have AY music playing on it. So even your 48k Spectrum with the right interface can have AY music playing in the background. Now, if it was for that, I would have given this a full 10 out of 10. Now, the recent game from ZoomNet, Natasha, her Angels, had AY tune playing in the background while you was playing the game. And I thought that that game was absolutely brilliant. So, therefore, to me, that is going to definitely, if that doesn't make a crash smash, I'll eat me dad's old retro hat. But this one just needed a little bit of AY tune in it. You're going to put AY tune in a game to start with. Why not complete the picture? Still, enough of that said, that's only my personal opinion. Some of you may not want AY music in it, therefore we could always have the key, just like in Manic Miner, which had bleeper music, where you press enter to switch the bleeper music off. It was beneficial with Manic Miner because it ran a little bit smoother and quicker. Because the bleeper would slow the machine down slightly, AY doesn't do that necessarily. Well, not to the same extent anyways. So, if it wasn't for that, I would say that I would give this a full top 10 out of 10. But because they didn't go that extra step, and it's a shame, and they didn't finish it off with a little bit, I'm still going to give it a high rating. But that will take away whether it gets a crash smash or not, in my opinion. Now, I hope I'm wrong, because it's a good game. It is really a good game. Great sprites, easily movable, and very playable indeed. With an intro and storyline, which, you know, is well done. So there's been a lot of effort in it, but just needed that extra step in my books. It needed a bit of AY tune just to add a little bit of atmosphere. Even if it was a medieval one sort of thing. But yes, for that reason I'm giving that a 9 out of 10. And guess what, it's available free on download, and links to plenty of places where you can get this from will be on the Facebook groups. Download it, stick it on your SD card in your Next and give it a go. Also, a little disappointing, we know that people are developing for the Next, but if you are developing games like this and they are quality, it's not a short step to improve the colours in it to be compatible with the Next as well, and make a Spectrum Next game. Give people who have invested in that new hardware the Spectrum Next, or even people who have bought the Ngo clone, and something more than just the Spectrum game. They want the Spectrum Next version of the game. That would be nice. But that's not necessarily what needs to be done. If you enjoy this game or you like this game, please leave your comments below. Tell me what your thoughts are about my thoughts, or what you think can be improved the game. Personally, 9 out of 10, and it could have been higher, but it's a great game. No taking away from it, well done. So, let's move on to some random reviews today. To this next game, there it is from 1983. I wanted to give it a review because it's one that doesn't come up very often, and it was from the early days of the machine. So I'm just going to pop some AY music on. Oh, I love this. I love creepy music in the background. Right. These were the days before the QAO P&M, and they used to just go with the 5 bottom keys, which would be ZX, C and V and B. And the reason why they didn't use the arrow keys is because other keys would get in the way, because obviously you're reaching over a rubber keyboard. So beta fire, ZX, C and V, which is going to be up and down, and of course when we press fire to play. And the idea is just basically, you know, it's called Jaws. It's got nothing to do with Jaws really, is it? You've got to shoot the fish. Which is easier said than done. You can move up and down your target, so once you get them in line, there we go, by moving them down to your target, they should be fairly easy to hit. But as you can see, the concentration is hard here. Now, I'm looking at the game, as simple as it might be, it's not complete basic. You know, there is a little bit of code involved. Now the game just is going to be the same. And I like it. And I don't know why. It's a simple Space Invader. There's nothing special about it. There's only certain holding your finger on it. It's pretty easy to be fair, but they get faster and faster and faster. And because of that frantic movement, and I'm just trying to clear a screen or two before I give you what my real thoughts on it. Score goes up as well as you get further in the screen. Oh, this music's brilliant, isn't it? Right. There we go. The bonus goes up again, and we move on, so on and so forth. And the further you get, the higher the bonus will be. But then also the firing will get more rapid. From the well, what I would only think are jellyfish. It took me a long time to think of the word. Sometimes bouncing up the screen up and down like so can make them easy to hit. I won't have lost it, man. So, simple, basic, but called Jaws. Nothing to do with Jaws really, is it? They don't even look like sharks. Well, no, they look like sticklebacks to me. Because I've never seen any jellyfish that are bigger than sharks. And that's what lets it down. But generally speaking, it's a simple game. It's well done. So, for the early years of the Spectrum, I would give that a 6 out of 10, and that's quite an high rating for something as basic as this little shoot 'em up. But imagine back in 1983, you'd have had hours of fun on this, wouldn't you? Challenging and trying to set the high score, or beat your mate's high score, as a school kid you may have been. So maybe this will remind somebody of a forgotten game. Give it a go. It's always free to play Jaws. Could do with a bit of dum. So going through my files, we've got so many. Let's put some music on. Oh, brilliant one. Brilliant AY tune in the background. From the game Death Wish 3. Great loading screen. Fun game to play because of the AY tune in the background. And it's got a great little, I don't know if I can turn it up any louder. You wait till this gets going. We've got various Pac-Man games to choose from, and I thought we'll start by a couple of Pac-Man games. As we all know, Pac-Man was an absolutely awesome arcade machine, one of the very earliest, and couldn't be called Pac-Man to start with, could it? We had to call it Munchman and stuff like that because of copyright issues, which people sort of worked around in their best abilities. So we're going to load a couple of these, but we're going to try the unknown one first because that could be the one, and I think we'll load the... Oh. Yeah, this could be the version of Cascade 50, which will probably be using the arrow keys. Yeah. So it's a Pac-Man game, slow moving, and it's probably typed into basic because it's moving by one graphical square at a time. Now, the problem with this basic game of Pac-Man is unless the ghost comes towards you, you can't catch him because he moves just the same speed. But I'll tell you what, the theme music, the AY tune in the background adds to this small Pac-Man version game, isn't it? And there we go. Let's have a break. Yes. Oh. It wants me to list the game for you. So there we go, it was a basic Pac-Man game, so let's move on to the next Pac-Man game. And the good thing about Pac-Man games is when you go into them all at the start. That was the unknown version. Let's try the Atari soft version. We got to wide this in 48K because there's not a 128K version. You can tell that from the air. Right, we've got slightly better, we've got more on the screen than before. We've got 3 different Pac-Man there, and then we've got all the bonuses you can collect from the centre. We press S to start, but it doesn't tell you what the keys are, so is it going to be the arrow keys? And guess what? It is. Now this one has actually got a bit of sound effects to it, just like the actual Pac-Man itself. And you can catch the ghouls and ghosts. So this is pretty much the same as the arcade virtually, isn't it? But can they go through? Yeah, they all return to the and they're moving at one graphical square at a time. So the first game I probably gave a 3 out of 10. First Pac-Man version. This one straight away, how long does the cherry stay there for? Long enough for you to get hold of it. It's even got the urgency. How long do they stay as ghosts? Quite a while. Quite a while. I'm actually enjoying playing this one, aren't I? Sometimes when I start playing games and I forget that I'm actually recording a video. Oh, good AI, good artificial intelligence. They trace me and trap me quite well. Yeah, I'm going to give this one a 6 out of 10. Let's have a look at another Pac-Man then. And all we got to do is go back 1. Right, which one shall we go for? We went for the Atari soft. Let's go for that one. And of course there's an A to it, so we'll go for the S80 file. Ooh, controls 5, 6, 7, 8. Once again, the arrows, and of course this is a foreign version of the same game. Oh dear. It's dreadful. It's slow moving, it's dreadful, and it's got dreadful collision control. It's also basic, which means we can do... Oh, we can't. Oops. Forgot the gap. I'm so used to the one-touch command that I'll find this too difficult. That's what I thought of that game. 2 out of 10 Pac-Man. One more Pac-Man then on the Pac-Man Trial Run. That was from 1984. I think the other one was earlier. I think the first version, the unknown version, was the better one than that by far. Right, I did see one from Video Soft. Was that the one I just done? Yes, it was. Yes. We don't want to go for Pac-Man 2 because Muncher, I actually enjoyed playing Muncher. Don't think I've tried that one. Well, look at it. Oh, it's usually a bad sign when it's got a Z80 and just a snap file. There isn't a tap file. So it's going to be a really early game yet. And 5 and 8. So we know the keys. Oh my life. How slow moving is this? This is dreadful. But I don't think it's as bad as the one I had to reset. So I might not reset this. And he's just literally tracing me. There's no getting rid of him. So, if you make a wrong turn, it catches you, but it goes back to the top there and flashes. I'm going to give that a 4.5 out of 10 because I don't know why. I kind of liked it. Oh, we can cheat. That was the Pac Trail on the Pac-Man Trial. We tried 3 different Pac-Man games there, and we could probably go through a lot of Pac-Man games because there's an awful lot of releases of Pac-Man. In fact, there's probably as many releases as that as there are of Manic Miner clones. Maybe not. Maybe I'm going too far. Something a little bit different indeed, and love this music coming up right now. Captain Dynamo. There we go. The name of the game is in front of you, and I'm going to hit the Z80 file. What's impressive about this game? Great loading screen. I did like that. It's a Boulder Dash clone, isn't it? Really. But it's also a puzzle game because you need to work your way around. We'll show you in a second what we're doing. Oh! Sorry, Captain Dynamo. I believe the sound of the entertainer, and that does make the list, by the way, so you'll have to wait and see. What a great name that is by Gil Johnson Smith. Like retro Wayne Robbins. It's like your one long title, isn't it? Right, you can select joystick. We're going to go straight away for Kempston, Cursor, Sinclair. We're going for Kempston. Make sure I switch it on. Indeed I have. And then we just press space to play. So you've got to go around the maze, you've got to collect big diamonds. I like the way you can see where you have been because every square that you've been in, almost as if you're flattened grass, disappear. What I'm most impressed about with this game is the fact that if I went down there, the boulder will fall, so you've got to avoid doing that. I'll fall on top of my head, so you've got to go up there rather than down there. Oh, you get to start the game again, but look, it starts where you left off. And you've got to go around collecting diamonds, to which I haven't got any just yet. I'll empty that because that will remove that particular rock. One of those. Now, if you get it in the wrong sequence, you can end up with a boulder falling on top of the diamond, and then you cannot complete that game. For instance, I think we can push that down to there, and that's gone all the way down to the bottom as that blocked off a diamond. Yes, there you go, look. So I've already made a bad move because there's no way I can collect every one of those sort of large diamond squares. What's impressive about this game, obviously there's going to be zero colour clash, simply because of the size of the sprites, but also the scrolling and the movement of the game is so responsive, it's really good. And, you know, it almost beggars belief the speed in which you can change directions, and the computer is well able to compete with that. I think reminds me a little bit, well, it is a Boulder Dash clone, but it's like a giant version of some of the Boulder Dashes that I've seen, and yeah, it's really good. Bit red, you know, maybe, oh look, see, there was a good movement. No, there's no reason I've got to ever uncover that more than one square there. So if you make that mistake, then you are really making a mistake that you shouldn't be making. But going around the map itself, I just wanted to do that because it looked fun. Now I can go there, but as soon as I go to the other one, I could trap myself. So you've got a feature where you can actually kill yourself in this game. Moves them out of the way. Oh, I noticed you pushed it to one side. Oh, we can move these out of the way, can't we? Look, there we go. Yeah, well, there's only one word for it. It's a brilliant, brilliant game, and large in sprites. Very playable, definitely go back to that a few times. Bleeper tune at the start's great. No AOI tune in it, but I've helped myself to one from another game there to give it something, to give it a bit of excitement. And by putting that in, as you can see, oh, Emo's dancing again. Look at him. Taps his foot and then he starts to do the manoeuvres. I can't do that, I'll get a bad neck. Marks out of 10. Definitely an 8 out of 10. Definitely an 8 out of 10. Good game. Good enjoyable game. Large sprite. Beautiful. Doesn't use the full screen. Doesn't need to. It's got what you've got there. Great looking blocky sprite, but great looking indeed. And with a bit of character as well, because if you leave him and you don't touch him, he starts moving to say bored. Remember that with one or two characters? Was it Batman that used to tap his foot when he got impatient or something? It was great. Give it a go. That's one you should play if you haven't ever played it before. It's a good game. Last game of the day then. Oh, good music coming in. Thought we'd have something a little brutal to finish off with, and yeah, it's the legend of the the Amazon woman, and we're gonna play the. See, these games I haven't actually got a chance to put on my Retro Robin show. So I'll give you time to read that before we move on. And if we can get Emo's eyes out of the picture, we'll give it a full. 1986 was when this was released. Let me just drop the screen down a touch. Hey Emo, you're back in the picture, my friend. Alright then. Oh, annoying bleeper sound. We're going to select 2 Kempston. And now we're just going to put up the sound effects of this game. As the map was scrolling across, you don't necessarily have to go that way. I like that. It'll tell you to press S to start in a minute. Once you're ready, it's got you to the start. You've got to go all the way across and beat any opponents up in your way. There you are. A little bit turn a nog, dumped off, style in the walk and the hair. I wonder if it was done by the same people. And now we get into a fight. If you look at the red counter on mine, I've actually got a blow-in. That's it. We're going to win this fight. She tries to jump at me. Eventually you will clobber the young lady enough for her to submit, or shall we say get defeated. Take that. And then we proceed a little bit further till we run in, and obviously the arrows will be your next opponent. There's something there that we should have collected, isn't there? There's something there. Oh, the cross represents where you've oh, there's something coming. Oh, we've got arrows to avoid as well. So whenever you keep an eye on the top screen to make sure that you haven't got any arrows. In that case, if you have, you're going to have to duck them. We're going to proceed by... She moves back 2 paces when you usually do that, but if you're getting closer, and not too close because I just took a blow there. Oh, I took a few blows myself then. Once you get the art of it though, they really are quite easy to defeat, these first few opponents. There we go, we can move on. There's something coming up, there's an arrow coming now. So we'll keep down, we duck for that one, and we jump for this one. Unfortunately we jump again because I just hit 2 arrows. Oh. Bit slow in the jumping mechanism. I need to destroy that, do I? No? Okay. Right, monotone, graphics. Ah, oh, dear me. You can get blows from all angles here, can't you? This one's a bit cleverer. She keeps backing off. I'm trying not to get hit because if I get hit too many times it's game over. And I've got a long way to and there you go, I'm defeated. It's like a brutal version of Turn and Knock. Right, game wise it's okay. It's a bit not much happening. You know, you see what you've got to do. It's pretty simple to play. Yeah, if you do stand, they catch up with you and then they come and attack you before you know it, you lose another life. Yeah, I feel like I'm better. Graphically, it's very nice. Yeah, just even from the details of where her hair is sort of waving as you move, and her movement's more Neanderthal. So yeah, it's sort of like a Stone Age women warriors. Although I'm not sure that they quite look like that in the Stone Age, but who knows? I wasn't born then. I know, contrary to popular belief, I'm not that old. So we've had a good view of a few games today, and yeah, so in that case we need to wrap up today's show, don't we? Okay, that's the end of today's Retro Robbins show. As always, big thank you to Dean Jones's Cues, Hotshot Snooker, Matthew Logue, who provides the AY music, and of course Richard Hollins, who also has done so much in the way of bleeper music, will be featured on an upcoming show, of course. Do hope you enjoyed today's content, as we had a look at a few random games, but we didn't go for the crash reviews this week. We'll give it a break. Obviously, not going to be so many shows from now on, but they will be probably better quality for it. So we're going to try and congest a lot in. No Commodore versus Spectrum this week either, but we might include that in a bit later on. So there are some great Commodore versus Spectrum coming up. Stay tuned for that. If you want to see some more content like this, please subscribe, like and share. In the meantime, from me, Wayne Robbins, I do hope you enjoyed today's show, depending on when you watch it. Please take care, have a nice working week or weekend. And from Emo, it's bye from him, and it's bye from him as well as me. So, thanks for watching.